I thought I was being the perfect husband. I thought surprising my wife at work with her favorite flowers would make her day. I thought our marriage was solid as a rock. But sometimes what you think you know about the person you love most can destroy you in ways you never imagined. This is the story of how one surprise visit shattered my entire world and how the truth I uncovered was more devastating than I could have ever prepared for. My name is Jake, and I thought I had it all figured out. Emma and I had been married for 8 years. We met in college, and she was everything I'd ever wanted in a partner. Smart, beautiful, ambitious. She worked as a marketing manager at a prestigious firm downtown, and I was proud of her success. Our routine was comfortable. She'd leave for work at 7:30 a.m. sharp, always impeccably dressed, always carrying that leather briefcase I'd bought her for our anniversary. She'd come home around 6:30 p.m., sometimes later when she had client meetings or urgent projects. I never questioned it. Why would I? I trusted her completely. That Thursday started like any other day, except I had something special planned. I'd taken the afternoon off work and bought 24 of her favorite roses. White ones, the kind she carried in our wedding bouquet. I was going to surprise her at her office, maybe take her to lunch at that little bistro she loved. I arrived at her office building around 1 p.m., roses in hand, feeling like the world's most romantic husband. The elevator ride to the 14th floor felt eternal. I was so excited to see the look on her face. But when I walked into the reception area, something felt off. The receptionist, Linda, looked at me with confusion. "Jake, what are you doing here?" "I'm here to surprise Emma," I said, holding up the flowers with a grin. Linda's face went pale. She looked around nervously, then leaned forward and whispered, "Jake, honey, Emma called in sick today. She's been out all week with the flu." The flowers suddenly felt heavy in my hands. "What do you mean she's been out all week?" "She left for work this morning like always." Linda's expression shifted from confusion to concern. "Jake, Emma hasn't been in the office since last Friday. She emailed saying she caught a nasty bug and would be working from home until she felt better." The world started spinning. Where had my wife been going every morning? Where was she right now at 1 p.m. on a Thursday when she thought I was at work? I left those roses on Linda's desk and walked out in a daze. My mind was racing with possibilities, each one worse than the last. Maybe there was a mistake. Maybe she was actually working from home and hadn't told me. Maybe she was planning some surprise of her own. The late nights, the weekend emergency calls, the way she'd started keeping her phone face down during dinner. All those little signs I'd ignored were suddenly screaming at me. I drove home in a fog, my hands shaking on the steering wheel. When I got there, I did something I'd never done before. I went through her things. In her dresser drawer, underneath her workout clothes, I found a second phone. A phone I'd never seen before. My heart was hammering as I turned it on. The text messages told me everything I needed to know. "Can't wait to see you today, beautiful. Same place as always. Yes. 2 p.m. Jake thinks I'm at work. Face blowing a kiss. You're incredible. I can't believe we've kept the secret for 6 months." 6 months. She'd been lying to me for 6 months. I sat on her bed staring at that phone, reading message after message. Tyler. His name was Tyler. And from the photos they'd exchanged, he was everything I wasn't. Tall, muscular, with the kind of confident smile that probably melted hearts. But it wasn't just the physical betrayal that destroyed me. It was the intimacy in their messages. The way they talked about their future together. The way she complained about our marriage, about me, calling me predictable and boring. One message hit harder than the rest. "I'm going to tell Jake soon. I can't keep living this lie. You're the one I want to be with." She was planning to leave me. All those months I thought we were happy, she was planning her escape. I could have confronted her when she walked through the door that evening. I could have thrown the phone at her and demanded answers. But something inside me needed to see it with my own eyes. I needed to witness the full extent of her deception. The next day, I told Emma I had an out-of-town client meeting and wouldn't be back until evening. She kissed me goodbye at the door, told me she loved me, and said she'd probably be working late again. Instead of leaving town, I parked across the street from our house and waited. At 10:30 a.m., she came out dressed in that red dress I bought her for our last anniversary. She looked beautiful, radiant, even in a way I hadn't seen her look at me in months. I followed her car to the Riverside Hotel downtown. My hands were trembling as I watched her walk into the lobby, moving with a confidence and excitement that cut through me like a knife. I waited 20 minutes, then went inside. The elevator ride to the 7th floor felt like descending into hell. Room 734. I stood outside that door for what felt like hours, listening to the sound of laughter and music inside. Her laughter, the way she used to laugh with me. When I finally knocked, the silence that followed was deafening. The door opened and there she was wearing nothing but a hotel bathrobe. Behind her, I could see him, Tyler, scrambling to put on his clothes. The look in her eyes wasn't surprise or shame. It was relief. "Jake," she said quietly, "we need to talk." The hotel room became a battlefield of 8 years of marriage. She didn't deny it, didn't make excuses. She just stood there finally free from the weight of her lies. "I never meant for it to happen this way," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I tried to find the right time to tell you." 6 months, Emma. 6 months. You've been living a double life. Tyler, to his credit, tried to leave, but Emma stopped him. "No, stay. Jake deserves to know the truth." And then she said the words that I'll never forget. "I haven't been happy for 2 years, Jake. I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore. Tyler makes me feel alive again." The room went quiet. Years of memories flashed through my mind. Our wedding day, buying our first house, talking about having children, all the dreams we'd shared. All of it built on what I now realized was a foundation that had been crumbling for longer than I'd known. "I thought we were happy," I whispered. "You were happy, Jake." I was suffocating. I left that hotel room a different man than the one who'd entered it. The drive home was a blur of tears and rage and a strange sense of liberation I couldn't understand. That evening, while Emma packed her things, we talked more honestly than we had in years. She was moving in with Tyler. The divorce papers would be filed within the week. "I'm sorry I hurt you," she said as she loaded the last box into her car. "But I'm not sorry for finding happiness again." It was like a weight I didn't know I was carrying had been lifted. That was 3 months ago. Emma and Tyler are engaged now. I saw the announcement on social media. Yes, I looked and yes, it hurt. But it also confirmed what I already knew. She's happier now than she ever was with me. And here's the twist that nobody saw coming, including me. I'm happier, too. Sometimes betrayal isn't just about someone breaking your trust. Sometimes it's about them setting you both free from a life that wasn't working for anyone. I went to surprise my wife at work that day, but she wasn't there. Instead, I found something I didn't know I was looking for, the truth. The surprise was on me, but it turned out to be the best surprise of my life. If this story resonated with you, smash that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever discovered a truth that hurt but ultimately set you free? I read every single comment. Until next time, remember, sometimes the most painful surprises lead to the most beautiful transformations.